After filming weddings for 8 years, I've gotten to know a lot of vendors. But all of my time spent with them is usually when we're both working. And I also notice that most of the time the actual couples get to spend with their vendors is while they're working too. So I wanted to take a step back and take some time to get to know them, while also letting you understand them and their industry. Let's get to know your vendors. What's up, guys? I'm Tommy Kirkpatrick with Kirkpatrick Films, and I'm here today with Audrey McCarty, owner of the Bridal Path here in Jackson, soon to be in Madison.
Yes.
And I'm super excited to have her today. The Bridal Path has been one of the staples in the Jackson metro area. They're an over 50-year-old business, right?
Yes.
They've been around for a very long time. We joked about one of the weddings I filmed recently about how we always tagged each other on Instagram on different posts and things like that. But I'd never actually met.
Don't actually get to meet.
Exactly, yeah. I'd never actually met until she was a bridesmaid in a wedding that I was filming.
Yes.
So thanks so much for being here today, Audrey. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm so honored that you would have me, and the wedding I was in that you videoed. I mean, truly, it was my best friend's wedding, but truly the best wedding video I have ever seen with my two eyes.
Thank you so much.
You're very talented, and I'm honored to be here.
Well, of course, yeah. Thanks for coming. So I'd like to start off and just hear a little bit about the history of the Bridal Path. Like I said, it's a 50-year-old business. You're not 50 years old, so obviously.
About half that.
yeah. So I'd love to hear about the history of the business and kind of how you came into the role of being the owner, and just kind of tell me all about it.
Absolutely. So the Bridal Path has been in business for 54 years in the Jackson area. We have always been owned by mother-daughter pairs for the most part. Rosemary Douglas was the one that stuck with it, and her daughter Luann ran the store with her, and they did that for about 44 or 45 years.
Wow.
And then there was a mother-daughter pair between us that hired me to work there. I was a fashion design and merchandising major at Mississippi State. I was a freshman, and I was like, I think when I grow up, I want to own a bridal store. And my mom was like, that is wonderful, Audrey, but I know you've worked retail, but you have never set foot in a bridal store, so you should see if somebody will have you this summer and let you, hang out. And so I applied at the Bridal Path. I do not know to this day, except for the Lord, why they hired me with, my inexperience and just being young. And, that summer was a huge learning experience for me in the best way. I was about to graduate from Mississippi State, so that December I was home working, and they approached us about purchasing the store. And so my mom and my sister, at the time, we all got together, okay, do we want to do this? This is my dream, but will y'all do it with me?
Yeah.
And so we spent the last semester of my senior year at Mississippi State negotiating buying the Bridal Path.
Wow.
We closed on it on May the 1st, and I graduated on May the 3rd. So it was a whirlwind of the semester.
That's gotta be crazy.
It's been a huge learning experience the last 5 years, but it's been incredible. So.
That's awesome. So yeah, tell me a little bit about the store itself. I'd love to hear a little bit about kind of just the brand and kind of what your mission is as a business.
Coming into a business that you want to make your own, but you also, I value and everyone values the long tradition of the Bridal Path, and they remember it a certain way, and they, have their memories there. And that is something that is so cool in our industry, is that it's our everyday, but it's something that people remember their entire life. I think something that really has been important to me is keeping the existing brand of the Bridal Path and the story that it tells, and the just incredible tradition that we have, but also making it something where you don't feel like you're in the same experience where your grandmother bought her dress. And so that's a really hard balance. I think it would be easier to start from scratch because it's just yours and yours only, and that's all you have to think about from all aspects of the business, which, if you don't know, we are completely full service bridal store. And that is something that definitely keeps me busy, but it sets us apart from everyone, because you can come to us and we will take care of you from start to finish. You can get your wedding dress, your bridesmaids, your mother's dress, your flower girl dress, alterations, every single thing under one roof. I mean, we will dress you truly head to toe and make sure it's all perfect. And so we pride ourselves on that just because that is something that not everyone does. And you know, it's an overwhelming process as a bride, and you're going here and you're going there and you have to meet with this person and that person, and you know, there's a million things to keep up with, and we just hope that whenever you walk through our doors, no matter if you shopped 50 years ago or today, you feel like you were taken care of from start to finish.
So we kind of work on like almost opposite sides of the industry, because most of my work is wedding day and after, and most of your work is everything before leading up to the wedding day. So tell me a little bit about that, kind of all the prep work that goes into it and the experience in general. Like, what's it like for a bride from the second she walks into Bridal Path to her wedding day? How does that process work?
Absolutely. So we usually start the process with a 2-hour bridal appointment. People are so overwhelmed when they walk in. I mean, we have girls that are like shaking, they can't sign in, you know, and I understand. I always tell my brides to begin with, I'm like, it does not matter what you pick. Like, you can stand here and look like a mannequin in every single dress in front of a mirror and things will look amazing on you. But at the end of the day, it is an unbelievable experience to walk into your wedding day and it just feels like you. Like, that's the color that I love, that's the dress I love, that's what I feel the most confident in, or like all the people that I love. Like, and so I always tell brides, I'm like, you're going to know and you're going to feel it and you're not going to stop until you do. And so I think that that is something that is so unique to me, in that like, we do the wedding dress, you pick your wedding dress, you know, depending on how long that takes, maybe 1 appointment, maybe 2 appointments, but most people, it's crazy, like they know. And I tell them, if you don't know, don't get anything, you know?
Exactly.
Like, it's not my job to sell you a dress, it's my job to make you fall in love with something. And so I always keep that, you know, in the back of my mind, because there are a lot of dresses out there and only one's gonna be the one. With us doing everything in store, I style your wedding gown, and then after that we can hold up some bridesmaids dresses that look great next to your dress, and that piece clicks in and you're like, okay, I visualize. And then we do mothers, and so sometimes we even get the honor to do mother of the bride, mother of the groom, grandmothers on both sides. Like, we have literally dressed like 45 people in some weddings over the years. We get to see, just like in the store, like half of how the wedding is gonna turn out. And just following people through the entire process all the way down to their final fitting. It's a multi-step process, depending on your timeline. Of course, we start usually about 6 months to a year out with the process of wedding dress shopping, and then usually bridesmaids we order about 5 months in advance. In whatever timeline you have, we will do that entire process.
So what's something you wish that brides knew kind of before they even walk into your store? Because I know you have to explain a lot to them right off the bat. So what's something you wish they would know before they even came in?
I think that people come so insecure, and I wish that they didn't, you know? Like, I think that every single person that walks in the Bridal Path doors is nervous that they're not gonna love anything on themselves. Especially mothers are like, well, and I'm gonna lose weight and I'm gonna do this, and it's like, you are so perfect just the way you are. Like, we need to shop and make sure you're confident today. And if you lose weight, wonderful, great. If that makes you feel better, absolutely. Like, whatever makes you feel confident on your wedding day, we will alter it and we will make it fit you. But like, I need you to fall in love with yourself in something today, you know? And so I think just like the misconception that like I'm trying to sell you something, like I pride myself on being so low pressure and so honest with people. If I don't love something, like, we're gonna figure out something that looks better on you, because it does me no good to sell you something just to sell you something. I don't care if you leave with a dress, I just want you to feel better about yourself, happy and more educated on what your options are.
Now, obviously there's a big move coming up. Tell me a little bit about that and kind of what your plans are for the future of the Bridal Path.
Yes, so it has been a huge undertaking, and we had this kind of all started as a joke. One of my employees, she's like, I was driving down Highway 51 and I thought, that old Walgreens that has been abandoned for like forever, I wonder if we could move in there, just laughing. And so I was like, that would be like honestly a perfect size for us though. Like, that is hilarious. I do not want to be in a Walgreens, but like, I'm so glad you brought this up. So at dinner that night, this was about 2 years ago, we were just laughing about it to my dad. And he said, well, I think I'm gonna call them and see if they'll just give it to me. And of course, they were not willing to give it to him by any means. But the guy that he was talking to, the commercial, agent or whatever, said, the space on the corner of Main Street is for sale though. You may want to look into that. It'd be a beautiful spot for a bridal store. A week later, my dad's going, all right, say yes or no. Like, we're either doing it or we're not. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I never thought we would be doing this. This was never my plan to begin with. And so that was kind of how the whole entire thing spiraled. It started as a joke of moving into a Walgreens, and here we are 2 years later. So with the new store, we've been really intentional with like having a place for everything and making everybody feel like they have their own like private area. That's something that we haven't had in the current store. We are excited to kind of have like, it's very gonna be, tailored to like, this is your exact spot. Your family gets to all sit together. There will be very private areas for everybody, and it will be a little bit more like a department store in a way. Mothers will have their own area, bridesmaids, and then we'll have a back corner for just fittings with this huge window and mirror that you can like really see the finished product. And so we've been very intentional on how we want things laid out. So it's been a lot of fun, but making it our own and just taking it to like that next level. And I think that it'll definitely like continue to be the tradition and the destination that it has been all this time. And so far, the Lord has just put me exactly where I'm supposed to be every step of the way.
Well, you've been doing a great job, and super excited for y'all's future, like I said. And I just appreciate you coming on and talking today.
I so appreciate you asking me.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much, Audrey.
Thank you.